Hey, you guys. Let's see what's going on in your energy. It's been a while, so let's see what the divine wants us to know. Divine, what is it you would have us to know about the energies that surround us at this moment? Okay, so we have Lucky Break that's coming out. And what's interesting about this is I was doing a pre shuffle, and the first split that I did literally had this card right in the middle of it. So, a lucky break. So, good fortune, good things coming, as well as a turning point. This has been a consistent energy. And although I haven't pulled cards out for this is something that we've been discussing here, on this channel. And it's just very interesting how these readings keep on correlating with each other. Although you may not feel it, there is something that's happening around you. You are in the energy of good favor, good luck, good. And people are like, oh, I don't believe in luck. Just because you don't believe in luck doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And other people call it different things. People call it blessings, but I'm not I'm okay with saying luck be a lady tonight, because we need all the luck we can get, especially with the way this economy is going. But there's this energy of needing not to worry, and I know that that's easier said than done, but I feel like something is going to happen for a lot of you right in the nick of time. you know in this economic crisis that we're dealing with, there are just some people who will not be affected by it. And it's not always about having a lot of money or having a lot of wealth, because sometimes I feel like there's always a hesitation with what we're about to get because we don't know how to handle what we already have. Divine, tell me more about this lucky break here. Okay, thank you. And then we have repo. That's a very interesting dichotomy. So default on payments, financial incapability, as well as repossessed assets. So listen, I feel like what is happening now is this is the turning point. I feel like with this repo card, these are things that a lot of you all have dealt with. Some people have lost homes. Some people have lost their cars. Some people have lost apartments, are facing evictions and many different things like that. I feel like something is getting ready to happen to turn that all around for you. And no, I'm not trying to sell you some type of fairy tale or some type of dream. This is the energy that is most certainly out there. And I feel like this is definitely something that has been going on, if you've been doing the work. But with the lucky break happening, I feel like luck has nothing to do with work. I feel like you can look up and there might be a check in the mail. You may play a lottery ticket and may win $5,000. I feel like it's those kind of type of energies that are going to come when you least expect it, to turn the tide of what you've been dealing with. So if you've been having a rough and hard time, it feels like something is happening and something is on the way to really change that course, correct that. Because I feel like with what you've been dealing with, it hasn't been your fault. I feel like it's just due to, once again, what we've been dealing with here in this country in America, and just being alive. It almost seems like the moment you wake up and take a deep breath, $50 gone. $50 for breathing. What else, Divine? Okay, and we have the blues. So yeah, so scared, heavy emotions, as well as mental distress. So I get it. I get it, and I most certainly understand, and that's why I was, not negating, how this could feel. This has been a very stressful, trying time for a lot of you all with the blues, scared, heavy emotions, mental distress. Yes, worrying about how you're going to be able to do things, and don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. It's just what I'm feeling and what I'm channeling at this present moment. Divine, tell me more about this blues, because I feel like something's coming to really put some. We have kinky ways coming out. So fantasies, fetishes, sexually open, as well as looking to explore. Okay, this is interesting. So a lot of you all have been using intercourse as a means of pleasure to kind of like numb the pain or redirect that focus. Something very specific about sacral energy. So I feel like I wouldn't say that it's necessarily abstinence. I feel like you could be using your energy somewhere else. And it's not even necessarily about the act of intercourse in itself. It's more so about the sacral ability to be able to create, because it's very, very powerful manifesting energy, very powerful creative energy. And it's possible that instead of focusing into intercourse, just intercourse, and I'm definitely, free will is a thing, but it's more so using that energy to for something else. Divine, can you give me one more for the blues and kinky ways? Okay. So we do have tiptoeing. So avoiding getting caught acting shady as well as sneaking around. Okay. So another message that I'm getting is a lot of the some of some of the reason why some of you all are in the situation that you are in is because of the people that you are involved with. This could be friends, it could be family, but it feels more so like romantic partners. They're not contributing, and I feel like they're tiptoeing around the situation and trying to avoid, what's happening here. And I feel like a lot of them are using intercourse, and I feel like this is the weirdest reading I've had in a minute. A lot of them are using intercourse as a form of payment. It's just not something that we're saying or discussing. And no, if you don't have a partner, if you are not having intercourse or anything like that, I am not talking to you. So there's no need to put that in the comment section. So for those of you who are, it definitely feels like that is this kind of situation, and it's just a nod towards that. So I feel like somebody possibly needs to get the boot, because the reason why you are in the predicament that you are in is because there is no contribution. I keep on seeing the word contribution. Divine, what else is here? What other energies surround us? And we have the cleanse. I literally said maybe you need to get rid of them. So the cleanse. So detox, ridding negativity as well as purification. It's time for you to remove problems, things that are not helping, things that are hindering, things that are getting in the way. This could be something as simple as removing yourself from subscriptions that you don't use. Do you need all of those movie platforms, Netflix, Hulu, and henceforth and so on, like Peacock, and like do you need all of those things? So it's almost like taking an assessment of your life and ridding yourself of everything that is negatively impacting your financial situation, because it seems like this is more so about finances than anything else. So it's time to do a cleanse. It's time to get rid of those things that are not serving you or are wasteful. Divine, one more for the cleanse, please. And then we have rebound. So cleanse so you can bounce back. So I can't really see that. So it says flighty, temporary option, as well as unpredictable intentions. So this feels more so just like a bounce back for you. Almost as if the moment you start to rid yourself of things that you don't need, you will start to see a switch. You will start to see a change that will happen in your life. That does not mean that this is something that's going to happen instantaneously. It's about something happening over time. But I feel like what's happening now is the divine, in some senses, taken away all of those things that you don't need, or the things that are causing you problems, because you need to take a reassessment of your life or need to start over. But I'm also hearing a lot of you ask to be financially free. I feel like we have to be very careful with what we pray, because a lot of people are praying for financial freedom, and you are literally getting what you ask for. So if you, I'm joking, but I'm also serious at the same time as well. Because when you pray for something like financial freedom, you're praying for financial freedom, which means nothing is going to come in. If you don't have anything, what do you need money for? So maybe you need to be praying for financial abundance, for financial wealth, and that will change the course and tide of things, because God is very specific. You could mean one thing, but it's all in the wording. So maybe you need to be praying for financial freedom. Last one for me here, Divine. The last energy that surrounds us. Okay. So we have legal. So court, paperwork, as well as filed. And Divine, what is the nature of legal? Okay. So today. So good vibes, present in the moment. So I'm hearing contracts. If you've been interviewing, because legal, that's still legal paperwork, You're signing your name. So something that you have to sign your name for. So something could happen as soon as today. And yes, good vibes, present in the moment. This thing could be happening today. It could be happening right now for you. You just don't see it coming. And just because it's happening today doesn't mean that you've been waiting for it, because this could have been something that you could have applied for months ago, and you may hear something back for it today. A lot of people have been interviewing, looking for jobs. You may be receiving information about a way in. This does not necessarily mean that you'll get the job today, but you will probably be starting the process. So something about things happening today, being present, being in the moment, allowing things to happen. But commitments, that obligations that you've made could be being cleared up as soon as today. So that's the energy that surrounds you guys. Very positive energy. I don't really see anything wrong with this. I feel like it's a turning point. I feel like if you've been in the muck of things and you've been making the effort, and I'm speaking specifically to people who have been making the effort to turn this situation around, not just sitting around doing nothing, praying, hoping, and wishing that something will fall out of the sky without doing any work. This is all about doing the work. This is all about being at the right place at the right time, being focused, being clear, being in the moment, and not allowing yourself to be boggled down. I'm not saying that don't have some concern over what's going on with your life, but don't let it boggle you down. Because if you know the divine, and the divine has always made a way for you, I can guarantee you that it's still going to show up now. Okay? Why haven't you done it yet? Why haven't you done it yet? I feel like you need to get out of your own way. I feel like you will not move. Something will not become clear until you get the clarity and the honest discernment, as well as confirmation that you need in order to progress. Check out our sponsor, Psychic Source. Yes, this will be very beneficial to you. Use my unique code, JMarion, and you can get up to 40 minutes of clarity and insight for only $19.80. And that's if you're a new member. If you are not satisfied with the advisor's clarity and insight that you choose, see, you get to choose the advisor, you can get your money back. Literally. Like, you win, period. So if you do this and you're not satisfied, you get your money back. You win. Don't you want to win? Check out those details down below in the description box. And now, on to your reading. Divine, what message do you have for us today? Okay. So we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yes, this is speaking to that stress. I feel like you were dealing with a very stressful situation with the Nine of Swords, and a lot of this is geared towards how am I going to make it. A lot of people are concerned about how they're going to make it day by day, week by week, month by month. And it's almost as like, if I can just make it through the next few days, you will be all right. Like, this Nine of Swords is in reverse, is releasing that stress. So I feel like there is something in the energy, something in your energy that is getting ready to turn the tide. And it's all because you've worked for it. It's all because you worked for it with this Nine of Swords. I feel like there is no need to be stressed about a situation that is outside of your control. Divine, what else with this Nine of Swords in reverse? Okay, and then we have the Temperance. So something most certainly is getting ready to change. Temperance is about alchemy. It's about flow. It's about allowing things to happen. And then we have a rainbow in the background. So there's some sort of promise that the divine has made to you that I feel like is getting ready to pay out. So a payout it could be very significant. A lot of people could be waiting for a payout. You could be receiving news that you are in the running for getting that payout, and it still might take a little time in order for you to receive it. Divine, tell me more about this Temperance and the Nine of Swords in reverse. We have the King of Wands. Yeah, I feel like remain confident in what you know. And what you know is spirit has always made a way for you. The divine, God, source has always made a way for you. And I feel like you can rest assured that the God that you had confidence back then in is the same God that you can have confidence in now. So it's about being faithful, remaining consistent to what you know is getting ready to happen. If you've been feeling like something is in your energy, if you know that you've made the effort, if you know that you've put all your confidence and trust in the divine is going to come through. Like I can guarantee you that I'm a witness. He will come through. What's up, divine? What else is here? And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Is this not the divine coming through? Yes, I feel like there's a need for us to be excited. I know that situations look a particular way. I get it and I understand it. But those situations can change as well, regardless of what's going on in the economy. If God said that in this particular time, and you know it, that God said that you are going to have the desires of your heart, that you're not going to have to worry about a thing, that I've never seen the righteous forsaken, neither their seed begging for bread. Ace of Pentacles, you can guarantee, because this Ace of Pentacles, generally this Ace of Pentacles is not something that you've been working for. This is an opportunity. Aces tend to be enlightenment. They tend to be gifts, God-led, inspired kind of things. Divine, tell me about this Ace of Pentacles. And then we have the Hermit. I feel like this is something that you're going to catch wind of. This is something that you've been looking forward to. The Hermit is someone who searches, seeks, and finds. And I feel like you've been searching, you've been waiting, you've been looking for this moment for quite a while. And I feel like you're going to get exactly where you are supposed to get. You're going to get exactly what you are supposed to get. The Hermit is a singular individual off by itself, one who seeks after enlightenment, one who seeks after knowledge, one who seeks after betterment for themselves. And this is exactly what this is. I feel like this opportunity also wasn't going to come along until you got to yourself. But it's something about searching deep within, taking a deep dive and assessing oneself. So this is all about the changes, one needs to make. What else can you learn about yourself? What more can you get, from yourself? And I feel like that's exactly what this is. You could be working for yourself. This could be an opportunity for you to climb out of the matrix that is ever failing. Okay, Divine, tell me more about the Hermit and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles as well as the Page of Wands. Yes, this has been on hold. This has been something that I do feel is a God-led kind of thing. This is something that you needed to search for specifically. It feels more purposeful than anything else. And I feel like a lot of that is the thing here as well, because you've put a lot of confidence, you've put a lot of trust into other people's organizations, other people's business. It's time for you to put something into yourself, even if that thing is a little bit for the moment, that grows into something else. Because I feel like this is an opportunity for you to expand. So expansion for you could be very significant, expanding into a different area in your life that you haven't given much focus. And maybe that thing that you haven't given much focus on is your dream, a possibility to do something else that would actually gain you more comfortability. Because I feel like a lot of people are looking for like that Queen of Pentacles energy, where you're able to make your money peacefully, not having to do much, in order to get it. And it doesn't mean, once again, that you're lazy, because I feel like you have people who own businesses, and after a while they monitor them, but they're not having to do so much, especially when you have the right people aligned in the right places. Divine, what else is here? And we have the Six of Wands. We have the Six of Wands energy. You're guaranteed to receive something. I feel like this is something that you would be really excited about, that you would really be able to celebrate about. And Divine, the Six of Wands, And then we have the Page of Swords. I feel like there most certainly is going to, okay, and this is a sidebar. With what you are getting or what you're getting ready to receive or what you've been working on is something that is going to be rivaled, you know? I feel like there is going to be, you know, some envy. There's probably going to be some slander, some back talk, you know, behind your back, you know, about what you have going on or what you are getting ready to achieve. Because with the Six of Wands and this Page of Swords, I do feel like there have been people possibly on the sidelines watching your journey in some sense, especially if you've been posting. But I feel like a lot of you all have not been posting. With the Hermit here, you've been antisocial in a good way. You've been working on yourself. You've been not speaking on or discussing, you know, what has been going on with you, but you've been putting in the effort, you know, to change your situation. Once you get what you're going to get and what you're supposed to get and what's aligned for you, there's going to be some words. There's going to be some conflict surrounding that as well, based off of people that you know. Because I feel like what's happening now is in a time where most people probably feel like you should be struggling, or in areas where people will say, oh, I can't find this, and oh, I don't have this. You will be able to say, that's not my narrative. And it's not even boasting, because I feel like you didn't always have it. And I feel like that was maybe a few years ago. You didn't always have it, and those people did. I feel like the tides are getting ready to change. And I feel like it's going to be even more significant now because of what the economy looks like. Like, the economy looks like you should not be making money, that you should not be wealthy. Like, you even speak on celebrities, you know, who did have a lot of money or who seemed like they have a lot of money. They're talking about struggling too. And let's not even talk about healthcare. So with this energy, there's going to be some envy surrounded by what you can do, because in an area where a lot of people won't be able to travel, where a lot of people won't be able to vacation and buy lavish and nice things, you'll be able to. And like I said, it's going to be even more significant now because of what things look like and how people feel like you should be living. A lot of people will be living frugal, and you won't have to. Divine, what else is here with the Page of Swords? And we have the Devil as well as the Page of Pentacles. I feel like you were roughing it for a while. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. But after a while of suffering, after a while of tribulations, because this is something that people saw you dealing with. With the Page of Pentacles, I feel like this is an offer. You know, an offer letter could be very significant for a lot of you all. You've had to tough out and rough through some very interesting times. Very interesting times. And I feel like with this Page of Pentacles, this is a moment that you've been waiting for. A moment to be able to exhale. Because a lot of you all have been holding your breath. Holding your breath for a moment where you can just release. Divine, last few messages, Page of Pentacles. Okay. So 7 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. See, I feel like you will be able to choose. Like, I feel like you're going to get options. Like, I feel like there's this energy of miracles, signs, and wonders, this miraculous type of energy in areas where people weren't getting job offers. I feel like you're going to get several. You've been waiting for a while. You've been waiting, and that wait is getting ready to pay off for you. There's something about you. You needed to be patient behind something because it wasn't the right type of environment. It wasn't the right type of timing. Some of you also have received offers that got rescinded. I feel like you're about to get those offers again, even though you thought that they just dropped off the face of the earth. It was something about budgeting. So budgeting could be very significant, especially if you, once again, you got an offer, it rescinded, and you didn't hear anything for the organization for quite a while. I feel like the reason why they were silent is because they couldn't offer you anything at that moment. they got news of something that actually changed the trajectory of something for a minute. But I feel like you're going to get offers again that were rescinded for you. Okay. And then you'll be in a path with the Nine of Pentacles where you will be living independently. Nine is the Hermit. And then we're ending on the Nine of Pentacles, a solid, stable, independent energy where you've done all of this, and this makes you a very valuable asset to honestly anybody who you would truly connect with that has your best interest or best intentions for you. Okay, Pisces Soul Tribe, that was your reading. Hopefully this message resonates with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and you're able to take something from it that you could use. Of course, if there's anything you need from me, you can find those details down below in the description box. And that includes our sponsor, Psychic Source. Psychic Source, the sponsor that you are going to connect with today. Like, we need to get the ball rolling today. No more procrastination. No more I'm going to wait and I'm going to hold off. Sometimes we need to have a little faith that things will work out just the way they're supposed to, especially when you're putting in the effort to make yourself better. Those details down below in the description box as well. And as always, my good people, remember to conquer this day, and I'll see you in the network. Bye, guys.